Queens, before going on hiatus for the break, our final Private Eye segment of 2010 took a look at the issue of depression. Take a look.
1 in 8 adolescents may be suffering from it. Only 33% who have it seek help, yet 80% of affected adolescents can be treated successfully if they seek help immediately. Chances are the person sitting beside you has been affected by it personally or knows someone who has. This is depression, and it affects 2.1 million adolescents every year. What is this ongoing mental illness that has been affecting university students day in and day out? The Private Eye investigates. Many people have a mindset that depression is just a feeling of emptiness and can be countered by just getting up and being happy. But depression is not solely psychological in nature.
Depression is, at its root, a disorder of the brain. So the brains of depressed people look very different from the brains of non-depressed people, and there are very likely genetic factors that are involved in that. But those genetic factors are usually triggered by factors in the environment, like stressful life events and traumas that people experience throughout their lives. Studying adolescent depression for about 10 years now, and we've found some really interesting things that get right at the heart of what causes depression. So we're interested in what gets depression started right in those very first onsets in adolescence, and we're particularly interested in early experiences of abuse to lead people to be very sensitive to stressful life events. And we're looking at stressful life events in terms of breakups, trouble at school, all of those sorts of things. And what we're finding is that there are certain types of genetic profiles that lead people to be very sensitive to those sorts of events in the environment. So that's what we've been looking at.
With the transition into university, days becoming longer and darker, exams lingering, and the expectation of grades that may not be achieved, intrusive thoughts of sadness and loneliness commonly surface for university students. But does this mean it's depression?
Depression is a significant problem among students in university. It's the second highest occurring mental health problem. And in common with, I would say, virtually every campus in the country, we are seeing increasing number of students who come in with some sorts of symptoms of depression. It is most likely to occur in the age range at which students are beginning to attend university. So we would say typically between about 17, 18 and about 25 is when people may have the first episode of depression. People are stressed. It's typically somewhat time limited. So for example, I would say we're entering a pretty high stress time of the year here in the university. But we know that about 3 weeks from now, most of this will dissipate. Students will have completed their exams, they'll be able to relax, go home and become more comfortable. In order for depression to be diagnosed, it has to go on for at least a period of 2 weeks. Secondly, it has to disrupt the person's life in a fairly significant way. So depression disrupts a person's life. They may have difficulty attending, concentrating, making decisions. They may be emotional. They may be more emotionally reactive, much more than usual.
Whether or not it's depression, there are still resources on campus and in Kingston that are available for those seeking them.
Resources, there are health resources. Even if it takes a while to get a counselling appointment, they can come in and get what we call a triage or intake appointment, usually within a day or two, just to assess the situation and make some recommendations for treatment.
The Peer Support Center is a center on campus run by students for students. It's a free accessible service open from 3 p.m. to 1 a.m. Every day of the week. HCDS closes at 4 or 4:30 and is not open on weekends. We're open at those times.
The most crucial message that must be emphasized is that as a community, we must work together to break down the negative stigma associated with depression and mental illness. This is a message that has been strongly vocalized by Eric Windler, the father of Jack Windler, a student who tragically ended his life at the end of last year.
Bring the issue out from the shadows and into the open and start making a real difference. My son's legacy can be one of helping others find the help he did not know about and could not reach out for.
And it is through his last wishes that his parents have initiated a national program that would be implemented in high schools and universities around Canada to alleviate depression and bring it to the forefront of public discussion. Yes, university can take a toll on many students. However, if you need to talk to somebody other than your friends or family, there are resources all around you. Getting help and getting rid of the stigma associated with depression is crucial in fighting and winning this battle that has taken too many lives. This has been Sarah Turnbull reporting for The Private Eye.